John, first game of the Global Championship. God damn, it's so good to be here, casting again with your buddy. But this is going to be a good one. I'm really, really excited. We have some ridiculously good teams. I think the desk touched on it very, very briefly, where they were saying, look, a lot of these teams have elevated themselves. They've got to new levels, new heights in terms of their own gameplay, and I completely agree here, John. Some of these teams we're starting to see step up, and we're having newer teams, for instance, like Team Execute, who are making their way from PMCO. They've learned a lot already. You have a player like Zute on the team. Suddenly, you have a team coming from PMCO getting first place, and then suddenly being in the Global Championships. And I'm loving seeing that new talent still appearing within the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good to see. Obviously, great to have them represented as well, because that's what they were talking about. You know, Max not so lucky. Zute has a lot better of a chance here. Already we see our first knock coming through over on Chari. That's going to be interesting to see how that one develops. Not too sure where they have dropped at the start, but I'm sure they'll be able to pick that one up. Maybe, maybe not. It looks like they're in Gatco, maybe with some contestation coming through.
Yeah, that is the Abrupt Slayers. I think they'll probably get it back on his feet as soon as possible, so it's absolutely fine. But really, Pachinki, the only place that no one's decided to go to. So this is an open area. Rozhok seems a little bit heavily contested, and you have a little bit... Oh, actually, no, there is a team fight here down in Gaka, like you were saying, John. Oh my lord, order already on this, and this is Nova coming to show that you can't hot drop on this team, they'll take you down.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is... the Gatka fields are owned, I'm afraid, and ooh, that's already 2 kills found. What a way to kick things off. You know, we knew that these guys were going to be good. We knew they were going to be strong, but apparently they surpass even those expectations. Fantastic stuff. Good way to start it off. 2 points already in the bag. Currently our tournament leaders now.
Ned goes for the top side, just clearing out the upper stairs of that building. Right now you've got Abrupt Slayers Joker here trying to move on through, but this is so well played from Nova. They're just clearing out the building so methodically. There is a pretty easy ring around Gatka, so it's quite easy to find some players. But right now Joker just hiding himself in the bush, feeling a little bit like a Joker himself at the moment, sadly. But he will just have to bide his time, wait for this team to hopefully leave. Paraboy, have you spotted him?
Has he seen him? Oh, just turns the corner. I think he might get away with it, but fortunately enough, there's another boy in town. Cool boy from the rooftop will be able to cut them down, and Joker falls. Only 1 player now left for the Abrupt Slayers.
Ooh, you know, it sends a tingle down my spine seeing Paraboy and Cool Boy in the game, getting to cast them. I mean, I watched you guys last year actually in Berlin. I had never had a chance to cast these guys, so this is my first time on it. I'm excited. I'm so excited. And already they're putting on a show.
Well, I'd never casted them either. I was on the analyst desk back in Berlin.
Yeah,
so, you know, it's the first for both of us. So, all right. Rich words coming from you.
I wasn't even there, to be fair, so I think that's acceptable. But here we go. So I'm still most curious that the Pachinki is completely open. This is a really good spot, and it's even better of a spot in this current circle that you saw on your screens a little bit earlier, as we did get that circle heading over to the west side. Provides so many good rotational paths for a lot of these teams. Right now, I think it was Lee on the desk there who was describing it, that a lot of these teams are going to be vying for position around the map. They're going to be looking for a place to stay, and Jason was talking about how, you know, we might not see concrete spots until week 2 potentially, which I somewhat agree with. I think unlike in other matches and other tournaments where it's maybe quite easy to shunt a team out who is towards the bottom of the tables, even a team here is in 20th place. They are still a global championship team. They have fangs, John.
Absolutely. Everyone here is ready and raring to go. Let's take a look at some of the drops as well, because specifically the area that they were talking about on the desk was this area around farm, around Milta. We're seeing this being really quite crowded here. We've got 2 teams in direct competition for this spot, GODSENT and Konina Power. Bigetron not in this lobby, which means that they're not going to be dropping around there, but they're going to be thrown into the mix in the future, seeing if that's what they want to go. And not only that, you've got a team over in Milta Power as well, on the eastern side, who's going to be competing with them.
You got PWA over there, and I mean, for Bigetron, it's not such a big deal, because actually, if you see on your screen next when the map comes up, where GODSENT currently is, Bigetron's more to the left side. They go for a split loot round farm, and then kind of coalesce a little bit later on and move up towards the map, depending on where the circle is. Right now, no one's really having to move a major amount. The fact that Sosnovka is in play creates a little bit of discordance in a lot of these players because they're worried. What if it goes down there? We need to be ready, set up to do that, which is why you can see Abrupt Slayers, one player from there coming down here. You've got Aerowolf Limax. They've got one player in Potato across the bridge, just scouting out. He's probably not going to stay here as soon as he sees a team move back towards his team, but he's just providing that forward edge, making sure they've got that information early. And as we all know, information is really, really strong in PUBG Mobile.
And especially this early in the tournament as well, right? Because this is where you're going to be getting most of your experience from, and it will dictate the pace of the rest of the games for the tournament to come. Qualifying for those Super Weekends, of course, that's really the name of the game here, managing to get that far and then competing for those points to get yourself towards the finals.
Especially if you're a Sosnovka team as well, John, because if you're dropping over towards the north side of the map, at least when you're parachuting down, you can do some reconnaissance on the way down to the floor before you have to pull that chute. And you will see some players, whereabouts are they dropping. If you're dropping Sosnovka, you're leaving a lot of that behind. Right now, Aerowolf Limax is the only team here, so they didn't even get any information who else is going to be dropping with them. So having Potato out wide, seeing like what happens on the other side of the western bridge here is really important. And like you say, I think it's a great point, John.
See if they do merge, because obviously that is now going to be a little bit of a traffic jam. The western circle, the southwestern side, this could play well for the Unnamed if they manage to make their way down south from Severny, which is where they dropped right at the start. If they're going to be able to take some ground around sort of school, around south of school towards Potato Hill, then they're going to be looking to control a decent chunk of this next circle and a lot of the rotations. If they'd have made that move earlier, they might have been able to dominate some of the people pushing in who we've now seen rotate across. But as it stands, they'll be all right.
They'll be absolutely fine. I was just laughing because you've provided some really good points so far, and I look down at your notes page and you've just got GODSENT dash GODSENT. What does that mean?
It's the team tags and what team they're playing for, and I know it's redundant, but sometimes you just got to write it twice. It's so good I had to say it twice.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's acceptable. I think they'll take that one on board. Bluebees, a team that Max on the desk had mentioned, the ones you're looking out for. They were over in Lipovka. They were really far away from a lot of the fighting, and typically quite a lot of these teams from Japan have gone down without much of a fight in a lot of these international tournaments. Now, last time we saw them in Reject Scarlet, they had a lot of improvement towards the end of that World League in the East, and I think that was really important for Japan, seeing that they can put on a good show for us. And I think Bluebees has some of the best, in my opinion, players from Japan on side, and so it's not just one of those where it's like a team's got lucky and got in from Japan. These are probably the top players from Japan we're seeing here. I'm really, really happy to see it, and I hope that they can put on a good show. It's something I'm excited to watch out for.
They might be contested on the eastern side here as the rotation from Milta goes a little bit further north. I think they might just skirt around one another, or the scout might come through. The question is, do they take this fight on the edge of the circle, on the eastern side? Do they go for this? And I just don't think it's going to pay off for them. However, the south rotation now for Bluebees coming in might hit them into Konina Power.
Konina Power, obviously, they're currently in a two-vehicle split right now, so they're not together, and it would be, I would say, ill-advised to take this fight. I think a lot of teams are just going to allow one another to get into the circle. Right now, it's currently looking out to be pretty heavily dominant center circle for a lot of these teams. Not instead of trying to play the edge here, but more trying to control a lot of these areas. And still, Pachinki, no one's headed into there, which is probably wise. You don't want to head into a city too early. It's pretty difficult to leave after that point.
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's surprising, as you mentioned earlier, that no one has dropped there. And maybe we're waiting for a team that isn't playing in this match.
And that's their spot.
Exactly. So
they're so dominant.
We'll keep track of that. We'll keep track of that into the next Aaron goal that we do play, which will be later today. But the circle shrinks yet again. It's going to go to the Northern Island.
Yeah, so now we can pretty much effectively say that Sosnovka is not going to be a play anymore, which is why you can see Aeromax starting to make their way out of there and just moving towards outside the Western Bridge. But look at the clump of teams over there. It's absolutely unreal. You got 4 AM, the other Chinese team that is in the lobby alongside Nova XQF. They're just going to be trying to hold down the hayfields right now. Just have a quick look over the top. You've got Zeus here as well. They're going to be trying to hold it down. But 4 AM, it looks like they're just gathering information and then moving onwards. This is really important. The more teams that they actually get to see and get away from just provides them so much benefit going forward. But the fact that they've made this decision to move down the western coast so early just really shows this prowess in terms of decision making, John.
Certainly some strong decisions being made, starting out as they mean to continue. And on the other side, the other Chinese team, as you mentioned, Nova XQuest F, they're slap bang in the center of this circle. They've got the circle luck on the first game. They've already had 3 kills to their name, bringing Abrupt Slayers abruptly slain down to 1 on Leon, who does remain just a little bit southeast of Gatka right now, in one of the farm compounds near the chopsticks. So he is the solo player there, hiding out, seeing how long he can last, because of course there's still 16 teams in it.
There is indeed. There we can see Klas game, Digital Athletics there. So I'm really excited to see Klas Digital Athletics in this lobby. I'm excited to see that the fact that they got picked up by a pretty prominent team within the scene. They were really, really strong within that European scene when we saw them at EMEA. Fantastic stuff from them. And we were on the analyst desk for that, and we saw this team just continually improve and them actually prove themselves to be a powerhouse in that final. Obviously not being able to overtake Na'Vi, who were just so far ahead of everyone else in that lobby, but still, this is a team to be feared from the EMEA region.
Yes, certainly nothing to ignore. None of these teams are, as you mentioned, though, earlier, so we're looking for the best of the best here. Aerowolf Limax currently scoping out GODSENT's position. This is towards the south side, towards the coastline here, in between the 2 bridges at the moment. But there's plenty of people waiting around the corner as well. It's a 2-2 split right now for Aerowolf Limax. On their western side, there's plenty of teams trying to vie for position.
Still, 16 teams, 61 alive. The only skirmish has really been that initial one. Jimmy goes down to incredibly low HP, and that's Fedorov from Loops, taking a bit of a battering himself, and now he has to make the run for it.
Yeah, I think that might have been actually Alpha coming in. Alpha 7 coming in with a couple of off-angle shots, but now Jimmy's done the scouting. He's gone back to his team. He's reporting in, and he's relaying that information. That's what you like to see, though. Scouting, so crucial in such a close circle.
Some lads on the hill.
There's some people, and they've got guns.
Yeah, so let's maybe wait down here for a little longer. Anyway, we're going to come up on our circle number 3 very shortly, so we'll see where that does head off to. Nova XQuest F, like you said, got a really good chance here. I mean, they came down from Gatka, so they have really definitely positioned themselves in a good spot. Sure, they were in a decent position to begin with, but now they need to hold down this position. And you know, Jimmy's already moved out and shown himself, so a lot of teams will know where they are, but they have a decent compound to play from going forward. Fences around the side, so if they do get crashed upon, they will at least have a fighting chance. Now, a really central position for them. This could be a Nova XQuest F chicken dinner to start off with, which would be very, very nice to see, but there are a lot of other teams in this lobby looking for this one. Konina Power now finally having to move off that coastal side by the cliffs and get into the circle, but they will be competing against a few other teams. You've got GODSENT here, Bluebees coming down, Power 88 also making their way down.
Yeah, it's kicking off on the hillside though. Konina Power and GODSENT. Comrades from the region, but looks like they're going to start the fighting, going off on the eastern side of this next circle, trying to push on up for now, dropping the smokes, and it seems that, hang on a minute, you've got another team coming in, it's Archers, taking the third party to try and play spoiler here from the south side. A very difficult engage coming through. Archers managed to pick up a kill off that. Konina Power have 1 knocked, but it is really, I believe, GODSENT who have taken the heavy casualties here. 2 of them have gone down.
Yeah, it was a crushing rotation for a lot of these teams. You kind of have to go along this cliffside, and only one team was really going to make it. Archers have managed to make a really good run down here using the tree line to their advantage. Bluebees, however, being very, very quiet. Much more silent, allowing Power 888 to make their way into this circle. And now just biding their time right on the edge here. They don't want to lose any members too early. They have 1 member now scouting out forward. But Archers currently on screen, with the smokes down, trying to look for a position that they can play from going forward. But Konina Power right behind them, that's what poses a threat. Now it's Bluebees versus Power 888. Let's see how this goes down, John.
Power 888 just dropping the nades. Bluebees sending them right back. No one cresting the ridge just yet, but in comes the push from Bluebees. Lufa leading the charge. Goes around the side. A huge nade comes in from Divine. Finds 2 knocks, and now they're down to 2. The back line getting decimated as well. And the Bluebees kick things off with Sire with our first squad wipe. It's Power 888 to be eliminated.
Jesus, that was a hell of a nade, but we've got another fight on the screen straight away. It's GODSENT versus Konina Power, the two EMEA region teams here going against one another, so they know how each plays. So they're pretty familiar, but do they know it's the other team? I wonder if they've got a knock as of yet. Nade comes out the side, Marley just really waiting this one out. He is in the midst of the enemy field.
The horse lets not the sleeping dog lie. They've already taken 2 from GODSENT. Will they be able to get any more? A back bounce on the nade hits Axa for a little bit too much damage, but Marley sees some from Black White and gets sprayed down for the rest by Rubdini. And now it's just Roll Kiss from GODSENT trying to hold it down, but he's just around the corner, finds a knock. Well, doesn't even get the knock. And it's GODSENT to go down in 15th place, Blank.
But Archers, they'll have heard this. If I was them, I'd be immediately pushing upon this position, you know, because if you can take it down, you have pretty much the entirety of the Southeast to yourself, and you know you're going to have to move soon, but instead Archers really maybe a little bit too passive here. I think they're favoring their ground over this. Perhaps they get back in the vehicles, favor having those as portable cover for the late game. Nova once again still within this circle, and Aerowolf Limax down on that western bridge can finally start to move because they are no longer suffocated by all those teams who are outside that western bridge. I'm really happy they waited so long for this next circle to pop. It could have got to a point where, look, we have to take our chances and move out, but with this circle and waiting out, now they can make a more informed move.
4 Angry Men have managed to find themselves a central position, and that's spectacular. Given the fact that they started in George, they went down south on the western edge, they've now managed to push in relatively centrally here into a pretty strong spot. They found these openings, and this is the power of scouting. This is the power of information, Blake.
And it's the power of being able to take that information and process it quickly. I think that's something that a lot of people kind of underestimate, is how quickly you can process information and then make a decision based on it. Because now all the information in the world, if you don't know what to do with it, you're absolutely ruined in that situation. Right now, we've got a couple of players just holding on strong within the shacks, but it's 4 AM with a little bit of portable cover here. You can see the UAS on the side of the hay bale. I don't know if the tyres are out as of yet, so they can still move this, but they've got a fairly decent position.
Aerowolf Limax as well, sent really central, really fast, and hang on a minute, they might be in a spot of bother here, as there's already a knock through in the middle of the field, but they are going to destroy that UAS for some hard cover, drop the smoke. They want to just keep themselves alive. 4 Angry Men trying to live up to the name, keeping them all in the fray. Zeus taking a fight now with Alpha 7 as well over the ridge line on the hill. This is out on the northwestern edge right now. No one in the circle, so they both will have to move. The circle will start to push as it moves on in. Time marches forwards, and this fight is going to be pressured.
I mean, it's Alpha 7 who's going to have to march as well towards Zeus, but Zeus leaving in a flash of lightning in the cars here, trying to get away as fast as possible. You got the Unnamed towards the south side of Alpha 7 too, so there is another team, and this is really good from Zeus. They decided to rock up just outside the edge of the circle, and now they are going to gatekeep, but you know, one player already down in Ronin, and Alpha 7's taking advantage. Zeus are maybe a little bit scared. Maybe they shouldn't have stayed here for so long.
Goodness me, that was bold, that was dramatic, but certainly was heroic in the end. They managed to get the first knock, get a kill on their name as well. Looking for a little bit more, keeping the pressure up, but Zeus they've left, they've disengaged further away. Alpha 7 looking to chase, however. They're trying to follow it up. 4 AM, hang on a minute.
They took a kill there. Alpha 7's dropped on the side. A lot of players are very low. It's the Unnamed coming on from the left here, and Zeus is just crippling Alpha 7. This is a really nice pincer here, John.
But the thing is, they've already managed to dispatch 2 from Zeus. 2 players have been knocked for Alpha 7 and the Unnamed as well. The western edge proving difficult for the Americas teams.
Remember though, John, 4 AM have eyes on this fight. That's another knock coming through, so this could be easily third-partied by another team after this concludes.
Well, Zeus certainly looking at third party here, but Alpha 7 have something to say about it. Swag win, looking to push out wide, takes some nade damage, goes for the challenge. Ziol behind the Dacia now, last standing for his squad for Zeus, but very, very low. Hasn't taken the time to heal up just yet. The Unnamed, they're trying to slip through the cracks here. They've moved down south, trying to keep themselves alive.
And now Texa just moving down towards Swagwin. Swagwin, one of the better players from Alpha 7. This guy has been making some killer moves over in the Americas region. And he's just going to crawl across, knowing that he cannot go for this res right now. See all though behind this vehicle. Swagwing could get an angle. You can see the Unnamed here just desperately trying to heal up in the smog over here before they move into the circle, but they're right on the edge at the moment. Aerowolf Limax, they've taken the time to find a central position in the circle, and here's Konina Power still fighting, still battling it out on that southeast edge.
You can see, though, the priority for the Unnamed right now is keeping themselves all alive, all four of them moving forwards. That is such a smart play to let these two duos fight it out, let them take the casualties, and then come in on two weakened teams. But the nade back over to Raven, ran down low behind the Darcia. Yet again, they've been spotted out along the way. I think there might be DRS plinking out. Alpha 7 on the ropes as Zeus get eliminated.
Oh, come on, that's one!
No
Bucky
way.
goes down as well.
Oh,
Swagwing
no.
still in the match, moves into the circle, and I believe that is it. The Unnamed is out, and Swagwing lives.
Luby's trying to crash now, but it's Nova XQF to receive, and you step close, you go down. There is no two ways about it. Aito-chan looking to try and hold down the window angle, but it's so difficult when you've just got everybody gunning you down.
Okay.
Paraboy takes a knee. Aito-chan with the full boosters, pre-fires the angle, but Jimmy gets the best. And it is going to be Paraboy to get res. Bluebees get eliminated as their off-angle player goes down as well. And Nova XQF, they're hurting, and Loops have heard that.
Now, Loops trying to make their way in. This is the winner from the PMPL Americas region. If anyone can go against Nova XQF, it might just be them. A very, very prominent team. So aggressive. Unfortunately for Bluebees, it was not Iaito at all. And now Loops will just be waiting in a little shack. Nova XQF definitely have the better position right now. They are currently split up. Order moving forward with a nade in hand, though. Pops it over the top. Is it good enough?
Oh.
No. Dadeen just about hangs on.
By a sliver. Another one. Order up. Let's see where the nades land. They evacuate that shack as fast as they can. They know what's coming their way. The bombardment is in, but all four Nova XQF players are still in. Alpha 7 on the western side eliminated.
This is so smart, though, from Loop. So they dropped the smoke out forward. Nova SQF was doing something ridiculously good by throwing one nade into the shack, one nade behind the shack immediately. We know how good Chinese teams are with those nades, but that actual smoke there allowed the players from Loops to move off the right side and not get shot at because vision was obscured.
Currently, you've got four angry men being guarded from the south side. Konina Power as well waiting for that one, but four angry men, they are no longer all four of them alive, unfortunately. They are going to be taking reduced numbers, but Loops get the circle shift.
Oh, bloody hell, this is a lovely little shift onto the northwestern edge here. Nova SQF can make their way in, but they know they have to fight through Loops. Loops right now don't really have too many compounds to speak of, and if I was Nova SQF right now, what I'd most likely do is just try and abide my time a little bit. I have a good compound, maybe I can try and clear out some more of these teams on the south side. We see with the new point structure, John, how important kills can be at elevating your points in this tournament. Making it into that super weekend is really important after all.
Certainly is. Aerowolf Limax, they sent Central early and they are reaping the rewards for that. And you're right, though, it is kills, but placements matter too. And that's what they've managed to achieve here, making it to top 6. And that's as far as they're going to go. The 6th place finish will be all right for them. They'll be happy with that to start things off. It's a good, slow entry into the proceedings here. And that's exactly what you want. A little bit of consistency as the send comes through from Class Digital Athletics on the south side against four angry men. It looks like they might just get the better end of the stick. Sven now last there in the grass looking for the spray, but gets spotted out. One knock. That's going to slow Class down just a little bit, but they should be able to pick things up and move on.
Instant smokes come down, stopping any teams from the north side from actually taking any shots here. But Nova, they're on the move already, but it's Kayovsky taking some shots. And nades come through from Kayovsky as well into the position where they're going to be. Is it any good? Does a little bit of damage. Another one's thrown over the top immediately afterwards. The bombardment continues, John.
Oh, Paraboy takes another 50, and the nade is there, but the shimmy out wide. Good wherewithal. Unfortunately, though, Kayovsky has a little bit better performance there on the nade. Bobbles it just far enough. Coolboy takes a knee as well. Loops taking on Nova XQF. No fear in their hearts.
None whatsoever. And remember, Loops had to make a quick decision to make their way into the circle. Sure, they've got it, but they don't have too much cover. And they're going for this really aggressive split. And that's Kayovsky dropping up again. They've managed to maintain these vehicles this entire match, though, John. It's providing them so much good cover here. And Nova XQF are really on the edge.
Goodness me, the circle shift to Loops has given them so many opportunities. And this is a team that takes those chances. They will take what they are given and they will play it to the best of their ability. They're certainly showing us just what they've got here. All 4 of them alive, and it's only Klas Digital Athletics left with all 4 alive.
It's really important right now that Carrillo does not go down. Support comes through from Dadine immediately. The fact that they're playing this 4-man split right now means that if one player goes down, it makes a massive difference in how the game continues, because you have one of these players has to move from their specific angles to help out, and it might give a chance for another team to make their way in. But Digital Athletics, they're stuck on this south edge.
Goodness me. Okay, well, Loops have the crate. They have the majority of the circle. Nobody else has a position there. So Dardin and Carrillo, they will have to move in. However, they have the ground in front of them covered. They have the enemy team suppressed. Nova XQF, they're being bombarded, and Klas have to make a mad dash across open ground.
It is a disgusting amount of space that Loops has been able to hold on to this entire time.
Wow.
Order goes down to an insane grenade from Federal, and now he's looking to put the final nail in the coffin here, John.
Oh, let's go. Kirovsky leads the charge. Around the side, it's Jimmy. He peeks out, gets 1, tucks back behind and looks for more, but unfortunately that's going to be it. Federal cleans things up. Dudin at his back, and that's Nova XQF eliminated.
Digital Athletics have to take advantage of the situation, have to take advantage of it now. They know a knock's come through, but they're crawling. They have to move forward. Carrillo got a really good angle over on that right-hand side there. Bukowski, he goes low afterwards, John.
Oh, Digital Athletics now taking pitched warfare with Loops. The EMEA team taking on the Americas right now in the final circle for the first game. Loops gets the first spray, and it's Salim to fall.
Dadine has been so influential this entire match right now. Just with this single position, he has kept Digital Athletics at bay, whilst the rest of the team has effectively trying to deal with Nova XQF here.
But the thing is, they still have to move forwards, and Loops just control this ground. There's no openings to be found. It's just open terrain. The foliage is only going to give you so much, especially when Loops have such fantastic off-angle coverage.
What they need here is a knock. Just any kind of knock for Digital Athletics would be so huge. They really should have moved in when they saw that knock come through onto Loops and just go for a full send. But right now, Loops, they are just crushing the windpipe of Digital Athletics. They're not able to move forward 1 inch. And slowly but surely, this is going to get dire.
Solus, Silas, Rays. They've made it to second place, though, Blank. And that is a really good turn up to start things
Versus
off.
Loops as well.
Exactly. Well, not only them, but versus Nova XQF, versus 4 Angry Men, the 2 teams that were really touted to be the strongest moving forwards. They're having a great day so far. But it is only the first game. It's early days.
Yeah,
we'll see more from them in times to come. Just, calm down, calm down. However, the final circle is getting even closer, and it's Loops dominating.
Right now, Digital Athletics just trying to move their way around. And damn, I don't know where Loops have been getting all of these grenades from, but they have had so many.
No way!
That is ridiculous. You are not allowed to do that.
That is unfair. That is unfair that he is this good, okay? With a nade, you can't be doing that. That's incredible. Beautiful stuff from Carrillo to hit that nade. Perfectly cooked, perfectly placed. There was no counterplay. Rays takes a lot of nade damage as well. The bombardments from Loops just brutal as the confirm comes through. And it's Digital Athletics down to 2, trying to nade in response. But Carrillo, he's the master of the frag. You're not going to give as good as you get, I'm afraid, this time around. He pops out with the M4, sprays around the edge of the crate. 1 player falls, Rays, and Silas now left. Last man standing, but only for so long. It will be Loops to dominate the first game.
All they need is a vague idea where you are. And Carrillo, he's going to drop the mortar bombs on your head. He's like, angle that a little bit to the degree of the 5 on the left side. And he's just like, bang, 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 bang. And he's just hitting them all. He doesn't leave anything. He's got like 10 grenades in the pockets.
It's you look up at the sky and you think, is there a crate? Is it a bird? Is it a crate? No. It's a nade from Carrillo. He's just pinpointed you.
Correction, nades.
Nades, plural. All right, well, we're going to head over to some plural analysts over on the desk, as well as a good-looking host himself as well. Jason, take it away.